if you grew up certain places in the United States, this image without a doubt leaves an indelible mark on you. Because you know its symbology and you understand what it means. When it's broad daylight, you may just be fine. But even in broad daylight, you knew how to run and get out of a place before the sun set. Because when the sun went down, some other things went down, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to tell a quick story. So I have a very close relative still alive. I won't say the name. And what this person did was told us a story years ago as a cautionary tale. When this relative was a little girl, she can recall living in a predominantly black neighborhood that was once predominantly white. And there was an older white guy who lived alone. He was an elderly white man, but he could still walk, talk, and see, and all those things. He still had his five senses. He was the final holdout, and from the way the story was told to me, his family wanted him to just go ahead and upend himself from the neighborhood. I don't remember if he built the house he lived in or he was the first and only person to occupy it and raise a family in it, but he was determined he was never going to leave that house. Okay. Every day consistently, when my relative and a few other kids in the neighborhood would get ready for school, they had to brace themselves for this man's black dog, who would chase them for like I think a couple of minutes as they passed by this man's house, because the way it was set up at that time, that was the safest route to go. So they had to deal with this every morning and every afternoon going to and from school. This man literally named this dog the N-word with the ER at the end. I kid you not. That was the dog's name. Every day, morning and afternoon, he yells, "Sick 'em, N-word." One day, this same relative, as usual, because she was tired of it, her and the other kids, but they had to go that one route for some reason. And I don't remember why I was told they had to go that route. So they looked over in the man's yard and braced themselves to be chased down by the dog that man named the N-word again. But they found him instead crouched over his dead dog, crying like a baby. This relative later figured out when she heard adults talking that there was a man in the neighborhood that knew that this dog was chasing black children, and it's believed he was black. Don't ask me his name because I never got it either. And he somehow got that dog and lured it away and poisoned it. But I don't think anybody did a real investigation. The dog just died. And to make it a long story short, most people in the black community at that time knows who poisoned that dog. I don't know if the gentleman that did it is still alive. I would imagine now if he was, he'd be in his anywhere between his late 70s to early 80s. But I promise you, never got his name. Basically, the black families got sick and tired of this dog with the N-word chasing my relative and other kids to school. And so he decided, since he was tired, he's going to take matters into his own hands and make N-word disappear. No one asked questions. How did he lure that dog, who was trained to chase black kids, away from the owner for a short period of time? Who knows? I don't know how much longer that old white guy stayed in the neighborhood, but I don't think he stayed too long. I don't remember the story ended with the kids watching that old man hold that dog and cry like an absolute baby because he didn't know why his dog was not going to wake up. And that is the biggest secret of all, that no one is talking about who poisoned that dog. I'd been watching some YouTube videos about sundown towns, right? Because they still exist. No one wants to believe this. And young black people are still coming up missing in certain areas, and we need to start questioning this. Okay? Here in the United States of America, where more black people are serving their country, we're still having this issue. I'm a proponent that I just don't go where I'm wanted. But I think now people who are outside of the United States are getting the extent to which, if you're an outsider, people don't want to deal with people, and they still do the same old stuff. And I'm telling you right now, that story I told y'all was a true story. That really happened to a very close relative that I won't say who it was. Never would tell me who the older black gentleman. Well, he wasn't old. He was an adult, more so a young adult. Somehow got that dog out of that yard and poisoned that dog because he was tired of it chasing black children. But that doesn't make the trauma that dog inflicted any less palatable or whatever. I was gonna say palatable because it ain't palatable. It doesn't even make it any less valid. That's the better word. Because I'm sitting here losing my words. You know the signs. Don't let the sun shine on your black bleat while you get out of town. And again, the South, for the most part, ain't always like that. But black folks need to still be green booking it out here, okay? You still need to know any person that don't share those views. You still need to know where you can and cannot go in this country. America's a big, vast country filled with evil people. And you just need to keep an eye out and make sure that your safety is paramount. All right. Thank you all for listening. Have a good day.